UFC 305 is one of the most emotionally charged main events that we have had this entire year. We have two guys fighting for the namesake of an entire country. And Dricus du Plessis is so far inside of Israel Adesanya's head that Izzy is crying at the press conference. My name is Angelo. This is We Want Picks, and I'm going to give you my bets for UFC 305. Before I do that, though, let's go ahead and talk about the website. If you go to WeWantPicks.com and click Become a Member, you will unlock a full suite of tools, bets, insight, and more. Of course, you're going to get bets that you can copy paste, a long track record of winning bets that you can just copy, paste, and move on with your day. But we're also going to give you tools and information to help validate your own bets, help you find some new spots, and help you make money week in and week out. One of those tools is the Prop Hunter. This is a curated set of data specifically designed to help you find your prop bets. You're also going to get the line movement tracker. This is going to give you the opening odds, the current odds, the win probability, and the line movement for every fighter on every card, so you can see those trends and tell you to hop on or hop off a hype train. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that I don't have time to mention because people complain when I promote the website. The reality is it's $10 for an entire month. And this month will get you not only UFC 305, then you have 2 fight nights and UFC 306, which is the Sphere fight card. The greatest value in this space, without question, is $2.50 an event. And if you unlock it right now, you're going to get 2 pay-per-views. It's the golden month of the year. 2 pay-per-views for that $10. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. Let's go ahead and talk about this card. I'm going to talk in some generalities, and then I'll go ahead and show you the bets. If we're talking about confident favorites and solid underdogs, there are some favorites that I'm very confident in. That doesn't mean that there's value on those favorites. Right? These are just people that I'm very confident are going to win. And I'm going to get comments. How come Gamrot's not on that list? How do you not have Steve Erceg in the most confident? Yeah, because I'm not as confident in them as I are these 4 people. You think I'm as confident in Steve Erceg as I am in Tom Nolan? No, of course not. We'll talk about those fights in a little bit. But the reality is the greatest value on this card might literally end up being Song Kenan, which is a wild statement to make because he's not very good. But what he can do is knock you out with one punch. And what his opponent can't do is take a big punch. This is a 1 + 1 = 2 type situation. And you're getting a discount on him, especially considering the rest of the confident favorites on this card. There's not an insane amount of value. Tom Nolan minus 1150. I mean, don't touch it. Don't put it in parlays. Just leave it alone. The reality is that value is long gone. Yeah, he should win. He's fighting a guy that took 6-year layoff because of some major health issues. He's fighting a guy that just got sparked in his fight back. And Tom Nolan should walk right through him. That's what should happen. But I'm not going to spend $1,150 to win 100. That's just, there's no value there. I'm not going to throw it in parlays either because adding 20 cents to a parlay is not worth the risk that a fist fight brings. Then we got Jack Jenkins at minus 700. Earlier in the week, he was basically half that price. People looked at this card, realized there's not a ton of great spots, and the favorites just all shot up, and those odds sort of went sideways. Jack Jenkins should dominate as well. He's fighting Herbert Burns, the younger quitter brother of Gilbert Burns. Herbert Burns is a nasty grappler, and if this fight gets on the ground, there could be some trouble. He also will quit. Jack Jenkins has some nasty leg kicks. If he chops down that tree a little bit, can't get a couple of takedowns, Herbert Burns will quit, and that's why Jack Jenkins is a favorite the way that he is. And then Carlos Prates. Fully recognize he's fighting a guy that hasn't been knocked out before. Everybody recognizes that. That's why he's minus 400 and not minus 700 like the rest of this crew. Carlos Prates is a guy that I wasn't very high on early on. He takes his time, doesn't go wild with the striking, but when he does get his striking going, that guy hits like a freight train. He's got that Alex Pereira style. Certainly at his weight class, he has that Alex Pereira type power. He's a dangerous guy on the feet. He's at a gym with insanely high fight IQ that's been doing quite well. I think Carlos Prates gets it done, and I'm pretty confident in that. If we're looking at some underdogs, there are a lot of solid underdogs on this card, and I have some bets that reflect that. Jesus Aguilar, plus 194. I get it. He's fighting the biggest hype train on this card. And he's not somebody that if you live outside of the region you've ever heard of, right? Nobody heard of Steve Nicoll unless you lived in that region and really followed the Asia-Pac regional MMA scene. And don't come in your comment section. No, I knew who's... No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Unless you're from that region, no, you didn't. But here he is on fight week, on a pay-per-view. We do the research. We do the deep dive. We watch the tape. And from what I can tell, Stewart Nicoll, Jesus Aguilar's opponent, good grappler, decent striking, good grappler, can work in the wrestling. I think he wins because of the wrestling, and Jesus can get taken down. Jesus also has 10 times the amount of MMA experience, has fought the way better slate of opponents, and he's a dangerous dude. I don't know why it's a foregone conclusion at 2-1 odds that Stewart Nicoll is going to blow through Jesus Aguilar. I don't see it that way. I think he can win, but I think he squeaks out a decision because he gets a couple of takedowns. I think Jesus Aguilar at plus 194, if you're on that side, is a good underdog. What I don't do is bet underdogs for the sake of betting underdogs. I know a lot of people do that. Like, these odds are crazy. Let me bet the other side. And I get that's a strategy. I don't do that. I will only ever bet on somebody who I think wins. So I'm not going to have a bet there, but if I'm looking at underdogs that I think can pull it off, at these odds, Jesus Aguilar looks good. Ricardo Ramos, plus 113, also a phenomenal underdog. He's fighting Josh Coulibaugh. Listen, Josh Coulibaugh is tough. He's all the things. He's also getting chinny in his old age. He's also getting taken down. Ricardo Ramos, if he's doing anything, it's taking people down, staying dangerous, moving forward. He's coming off a couple of quick guillotine losses in a row, but the reality is that last one, he got caught. He literally just got caught in a guillotine. Had a couple of takedowns, was doing well, got his neck snatched. He could absolutely be the underdog winner here and then beat Josh Coulibaugh. Walter Walker, listen, guys. I've said some horrible things about Walter, the Walker family, and just in general after his last performance. Walter Walker was an embarrassment to the family name that last time. An embarrassment. And that family name is with a guy that was accused of DMing younger women and who gets knocked out with a hard sneeze. So to embarrass that family name is not, that's no easy feat. But Walter Walker showed up looking like a bag of marshmallows, soft as shit, got exhausted in 38 seconds, and just a real, just god-awful situation. But all of a sudden, he's a big underdog against the guy that we have seen not be able to defend takedowns. He wrestles like a Nurmagomedov. He has the cardio of a small child, but he can wrestle like a Nurmagomedov. And Walter Walker all of a sudden lost a shit ton of weight and is looking really good. He is an underdog here. And I'm positive when the weigh-ins happen, he will flip to a favorite. Because I think a lot of people are making snap judgments based off his last physique and his last performance, which I totally understand. Screw that guy. But the weigh-ins, which aren't till very, very late. If you're, depending on your time zone here in America, the weigh-ins are tonight. The weigh-ins are at like 5 p.m., 6 p.m. They're not typical morning weigh-ins, and that's because they're fighting in Australia. Point being, if you think Walter Walker wins because of the wrestling, you might want to jump on him now, because when the general public sees what he looks like on the scale, I think a little more money will come in on him and he'll flip over to a favorite. And then Dricus du Plessis. Listen, the reality is on some books he's a favorite, on some books he's an underdog, other books it's even money. He's not a favorite anywhere. And for you to not even give him credit or not even give him the reasonable doubt that he can win this fight would be an insane thing to do. He has proven people wrong every single freaking fight. We have seen him ever since he got that nose surgery, charge forward, not slow down, and just do what he's going to do to people. I fully understand that Israel Adesanya is one of the greatest middleweights of all time, and he's done some amazing things. I also see that he's 35 years old, took a full year off, and is coming off the worst performance of his entire career. The last time he fought somebody that moved forward and could take him down was Jan Blachowicz. I personally do think Dricus wins, and I have a bunch of bets on him. But if you're one of the people in the comments section talking about contender Izzy is a different breed, contender Izzy is a different animal. At what age? When he was in his 20s? Yeah, sure, in his 20s he was a different animal. But he's 35. And if you want to go back to when he beat Alex Bejeda to get his belt back, he was getting walked down and lit up. He closed his eyes while getting lit up and just launched an overhand, and it connected, and good for him. He won his belt back. But that was against the depleted, cut too much weight Alex Bejeda. I am on the Dricus side. I fully get being on the Israel Adesanya side, but that's not where I am. Here are my bets. I've got 2 bets on Dricus. And I'll walk you through what happened here. It's a little bit of an accident, but I don't have a ton of regret. The first one, let me start with the second one at plus 105. I went to Bet Online. I went to go place the bet on Dricus. He was plus 110. And BetOnline was saying, you have already bet too much money on this, something like that. I was getting an error. And it was the website glitch, because then I went over to BetUS and I placed the bet at plus 105. Then an hour or two later, I see that Dricus du Plessis is plus 120 at BetOnline. I was like, plus 120? Is this still broken? And then I put my half a unit on there, hit submit, and it took it. So I was like, all right, well, you know what? Screw it. I'm good with it. I have 1 unit on the guy. I think he wins. I have 2 different plus money bets, one of them at very good odds that are long gone. So I do think Dricus wins, and I have those bets. I also bet on Luana Santos. She's stepping up on short notice, yes. But I think she's shown us time and time again that that's not a problem. A couple of narratives out there that I disagree with. Oh, Luana gets tired. When? When? Show me when she got tired. Show me. Because she beat Stephanie Egger on short notice up in weight, and she won the 3rd round on 2 judges' scorecards. I didn't see her get tired in that fight. I didn't see her slow down in that fight. And it was short notice up in weight. And she still won the 3rd. It's not like she won the 1st round, the 2nd round, and then got beat because she was exhausted. She won the 3rd round on 2 judges' scorecards. So I don't know where people come up with some of these narratives. It's like they don't watch the tape. They just say shit. Or I think what generally happens is they hear one person say it, and then they just repeat it down the line without ever actually doing their own research. Of course, fighters slow down as fights go on, but saying somebody has a cardio issue is very different than seeing somebody in the 3rd round not go ballistic like they did in the 1st. Those are 2 different things. I'm not believing this whole narrative that Luana has no cardio. I've seen her have cardio. I've seen her fight up in weight. I've seen her fight short notice before, and she won that fight. I think she wins this one. We saw power in her hands in her last fight. Her striking's not technical, and she is fighting a good striker. She doesn't need technical striker. She has nasty takedowns, awesome judo, and enough power in her hands to maybe get Casey O'Neill thinking about things. And then we have the Casey O'Neill, Luana Santos under 2.5 rounds. I think Luana Santos can win and win inside the distance, but I'm not going to bet on her to win inside the distance. I'm not that risky because I could see a situation where Casey O'Neill could maybe make something happen. These odds are crazy. I think under 2.5 works here. So I threw under 2.5 on there. That'll cover me if Casey O'Neill pulls some wild shit off, but also get me paid if Luana Santos finishes it and finishes it early. Then we got Song Kenan and Walter Walker. Listen, I told myself, don't ever bet on Walter Walker. That guy's a fat slob. And then he became an underdog, and I was like, shit. All right, maybe I will bet on the guy. So that's a plus 203 parlay. Song Kenan is not great, but he can absolutely 100% win this fight with one punch, and that's what he does. Walter Walker is a very good wrestler, but has cardio issues. As long as he gets his wrestling going and his physique tells me he has worked on his cardio, then I can trust him. So we smacked those 2 together. 2 risky favorites, put them together, plus 203. Then I got a couple more premium bets on the board. They're plus 3.5 bets. I've got some underdogs that I'm confident can at the very, very least win a round. And that's what the plus 3.5 is. 305, 3. That's what the plus 3.5 is. And then I got the safety parlay. Safety parlay, I put 1 unit on that. It's a parlay I put on the board for every single event. The reality is the safety parlay and pay-per-views is wildly successful. If you do want to unlock the rest of those bets in the safety parlay, you can do that now. Just go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. It's freaking $10 for an entire month. Let's take a look at Jacob's Bets. I don't give you all of Jacob's Bets here, right? At the end of the day, we do have a service, and it's at WeWantPicks.com. We're going to give you a whole bunch of bets, and we'll give you some insight, whole bunch of free content on YouTube nonstop all week long. One of Jacob's bets is Dricus du Plessis. He's his underdog lock of the week. If you haven't watched that video yet, watch it. Whether you love or hate Dricus, we can all admit it's a sick highlight that Jacob put together. He got him at plus 110. He's got 2 units on the board. He also has Jack Jenkins, Herbert Burns under 1.5. And that accounts for both sides. If Herbert Burns does get this fight to the ground and Jack Jenkins makes a mistake and gets submitted, well, that's covered. And if Jack Jenkins punches Herbert 2 times and then Herbert quicks and runs home and his brother has to carry him out of the cage, then that covers that side as well. And that wasn't dramatic. That's literally what happened. Jacob has almost 11 units on the board and all the prop bets haven't dropped yet. Once we get those significant strike prop bets, the takedown prop bets, I promise you there will be more so you can unlock Jacob's bets. And before you say, why would I unlock Jacob's bets? He's a short ginger. Jacob annoys me. Jacob makes those weird voices. Why would I in any world unlock his bets? Well, this is why. A, you'd be supporting a ginger, and I do feel like that's a class of people that, really, it's still okay to make fun of, which I, kind of feel bad for them. But the reality is he is on an absolute heater. These are the last 3 events because I could fit 3 events in this slide. 10 plus units of net profit from Jacob only on these last 3 events. You can pause if you want to check out the bets. I don't know why that would matter, but the reality is I don't know what this dude changed, what's going on with his diet, or what life changes he made, but he is on an absolute heater, 3 events in a row with some very real profit, 20% ROI, 49% ROI, and 48% ROI. Jakey boy is making things happen. So if you do want to unlock his picks and bets, WeWantPicks.com, click become a member. It's $10 a month for everything. There's no tiers, $10 a month for every single thing we do. And that $10 will get you 4 events. You're going to get UFC 305, which is Saturday. Then you're going to get the Jared Cannonier Caio Borralho fight, which is a good fight. Then you're going to get Gilbert Burns taking on Sean Brady. And then you're going to get UFC Noche, which is UFC 306. It's $10 for everything. It's an entire month, not a week. This isn't some stupid Patreon with a list. This isn't some $50 per event. No. $10 for an entire month. We have almost 4,000 premium members. We are right there. Could potentially cross that line this weekend. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. Earlier, we talked about some of these big favorites that the value is long gone. You can find some better value if you go to BetOpenly. BetOpenly is not a sportsbook. It is peer-to-peer betting, person-to-person betting. So they don't care who wins or loses. They don't have to work profit into their odds. We mentioned the main event is -110, -110. That's even money. Even money at BetOpenly is +100, +100 because they don't care. Whoever wins that bet, they'll take 1% from to just run the website and use that to keep their business afloat. But they don't care who wins. If you beat me, you take my money. If I beat you, I take your money. So you're going to get better odds. Check them out. WeWantPicks.com/BetOpenly or just BetOpenly.com. And finally, a closer look at that safety parlay. Listen, the reality is it missed last week. We can't hit 100%. As much as I would love to, we can't hit 100%. What we do hit is at 72%, which is insane. It has a lifetime ROI of 25%. It is 12-4 in the last 11 pay-per-views, and that's because for some pay-per-views, we do more than one safety parlay. The reality is the safety parlay is still the beacon of stability in this very volatile space. Unlock that safety parlay now. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member at the top. And if you want $50, we'll send you $50. Just go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. We have affiliate links to some sports books there. You sign up, you make a deposit. They will pay us because it's an affiliate link. And then we will slice off some of that money and give it right back to you. WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up, make a deposit. We will get you paid. Good luck this weekend, guys. I'm looking forward to this fight card. It's an awesome main event. I'm legitimately very excited for this, and I hope all of us can make some money and clean them out.